We have another audio question from Cole in Philadelphia.
Hey Solomonster, what's going on? Although I like what WWE is doing with Alicia Fox, I often wonder, why is the crazy chick character the only character that WWE uses to get the Divas over in recent years? If you look back to the first 2 years of the Ruthless Aggression era, the Divas had their own personality traits and character development. For example, Dawn Marie was vindictive and bitchy, Jazz was the schoolyard bully, Victoria was the psycho, Sable was the gold digger, Molly Holly was the judgmental prude, and Tori Wilson was the girl next door. So, why is it that WWE is so scared to use these character traits for the current crop of divas?
Well, they keep using the crazy chick one because it works. It worked with Mickie James. It worked with AJ Lee. You can't keep using it, though. I agree. After a while it won't work anymore. But I also think part of it is a lot of guys probably can relate to that, having dated crazy women before. So I think that might be part of it. But you're right. I mean, there was a time when the Divas division had a lot more variety than it does now. All the people you mentioned, and Trish Stratus was there, and Lita was there. She was kind of the punk rocker, and you mentioned Ivory in your email as well. I like the nickname, by the way. I didn't include it in the audio, but in his email, Cole mentioned Ivory as the feisty one. Was that really her gimmick? Was Ivory the feisty one? I mean, maybe she was. I never really thought of her that way. But no, I agree. I mean, and that's part of the problem with the Divas division. I've talked about this before, is that they don't focus on them enough, and it goes beyond just giving them more time for their matches. They need to give them more time to develop personalities. So Paige, like on NXT, used to be the anti-diva. Well, guess what? Ever since she came up to the main roster, she's like every other diva. There's nothing anti-diva about Paige. So why not play up that aspect of her character more? Why just bring her up and lump her in there with everybody else? And, the only thing that makes her stand out, she's young and she's pale. Otherwise, her character is no different than any other woman on the roster. It's like they're afraid to give them their own unique personalities. Okay, Alicia Fox now is the crazy one. But you peel the layers back beyond that, and what do you really have? Like I said, Paige is just like any other diva. You have the Funkadactyls who, okay, they dance. Okay. You have Natalya, who's a good wrestler. You have Oksana's not there anymore. You have the Bellas, one of whom now is fired in storyline. God, who else is there? I just completely blanked on all the other divas on the roster. Let's see here. Tamina is out with an injury. AJ is gone and probably won't be back for a while. Is that it? Am I missing something here? I just completely blanked on everybody else in the Divas division. See, that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. I can't remember anybody else. Funkadactyls, Natalya, Rosa, although Rosa's never on TV, so I don't even count her. Summer Rae. Okay, they're doing the stuff with Summer Rae and Layla. So at least they're doing something with them. But even that's tied into this total Divas nonsense. Summer Rae is probably the best character they have. I'll say that right now. Her work on NXT was always great. She can wrestle. She's not just some, like a blonde-haired bimbo. She's actually a very good wrestler. I think she's coming into her own there. And as a character, she's the biggest bitch on planet Earth. So I think Summer Rae has a lot of potential as far as being like a featured person in the Divas division. She's a lot better than this nonsense with Fandango right now. Let's put it that way. She could be a really good heel in that Divas division. I think a really good heel champion. I wouldn't mind seeing a Summer Rae Paige feud at some point, but they've got to get Paige going, which sounds kind of weird because she's got the belt, but that doesn't mean anything. If you put the belt on somebody and don't do anything with them, as we've seen before in WWE and TNA, whether your name is Chris Sabin or if your name is Jack Swagger, or if your name is Rey Mysterio,